Some athletes wait their entire careers for a moment like this. SB19 got theirs on a baseball field. At Wright Field in Chicago, home of the White Sox, one Filipino artist walked out to the pitcher's mound in front of thousands of fans who came expecting a Major League Baseball game, not a piece of P-pop history. What happened next turned into one of the biggest global talking points of SB19's entire year. Welcome to Stage Wire, and here's how it all went down. On July 29th, ahead of the Chicago White Sox hosting the New York Yankees, the stadium announcer introduced a guest most of the crowd had never heard of, but ATIN watching around the world instantly recognized. Josh Cullen, representing SB19, stepped onto the field to throw the ceremonial first pitch. He wasn't just there as himself. Alongside Pablo, Stel, Ken, and Justin, Josh made SB19 the first Filipino group ever invited to throw a ceremonial first pitch at an MLB game. Not a solo artist. Not a guest performer. An entire group, representing an entire country, on one of America's biggest sporting stages. Wearing a White Sox jersey, Josh waved to the crowd as cameras locked onto him. Then came the detail that turned a nice gesture into a viral moment. As he prepared to throw, SB19's global hit, GENTO, played through the stadium speakers. A Filipino song echoing across an American ballpark, right before thousands of people who had no idea what P-pop even was. For ATIN in the stands and watching online, it was chills. For casual baseball fans, it was curiosity. Either way, everyone in that stadium heard it. The pitch itself was clean, confident, and right on target, drawing applause from the crowd. It lasted only a few seconds. But seconds are all it takes for a clip to travel the internet, and this one did exactly that. Why does a ceremonial first pitch matter so much? In American sports culture, it's not just a photo opportunity. Major League Baseball has handed that honor to sitting presidents, Hollywood A-listers, Olympic champions, and chart-topping musicians for generations. It's a recognized tradition, typically reserved for public figures whose influence reaches beyond their own industry. Getting the invitation is itself a signal that an organization sees you as culturally significant, not just popular within your own fandom. With this appearance, SB19 joined a short list of Filipino personalities who have received that same honor, including Manny Pacquiao, Liza Soberano, and Joe Coy. That's the company SB19 now keeps, and for a P-pop act that debuted back in 2018, it's another marker of just how far the group's reach has grown. It also raises an interesting question. Why would an MLB franchise reach out to a P-pop group in the first place? The likely answer comes down to numbers. Asian American communities make up a significant and growing share of ticket buyers and merchandise spenders in major US cities, and P-pop fandoms are known for being organized, digitally active, and willing to travel for their favorite acts. Inviting SB19 wasn't just a nice cultural gesture. It was very likely a calculated move to bring a passionate, mobilized fan base through the gates. Social media reacted almost instantly. Clips of Josh walking to the mound, the crowd's reaction to GENTO, and the pitch itself spread across X, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube within minutes. Comments praising the moment as historic and emotional for Filipino fans piled up under nearly every repost. Some longtime supporters pointed out how far the group has come, from limited opportunities in their early years to now standing inside a Major League Baseball stadium with their own music playing over the loudspeakers. For fans who have followed SB19 since their debut, the contrast hit hard. This wasn't a small local venue or a fan-organized meetup. It was a nationally broadcast MLB game in one of America's biggest cities, with a Filipino song filling the air. Even fans outside the P-pop fandom chimed in, many asking the same questions: who is this group and what is GENTO? Some baseball fans admitted they searched the song immediately after hearing it, curious about the artist who had just walked off the mound. That kind of organic curiosity is exactly the kind of exposure no marketing budget can manufacture on its own. This MLB appearance didn't happen in isolation. It landed in the middle of one of the busiest, most high-profile weeks of SB19's career. Just one day earlier, on July 28th, The group performed at the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles for a sold-out edition of Global Spin Live, where they sat down for a career-spanning conversation before performing live. That appearance alone generated a wave of new coverage and introduced the group to yet another audience segment. And the momentum doesn't stop at the pitcher's mound. On July 30th, SB19 is set to become the first homegrown Filipino act to perform at Lollapalooza in Chicago, one of the largest music festivals in the world. The group is expected to perform tracks from their latest album, Wackus at Simula, in front of a festival crowd that spans the globe. Zoom out, and the pattern becomes obvious. In the span of about 72 hours, SB19 went from a museum stage to a baseball diamond to one of the world's premier music festivals. That's not luck. That's a calculated push across entertainment, sports, and media, hitting different audiences that would otherwise never cross paths with P-pop. Think about how differently each of those crowds discovers the group. Grammy Museum attendees are music industry insiders and dedicated fans who already know the catalog inside and out. Baseball fans at Wright Field are a completely different demographic, many hearing GENTO for the very first time with zero context. Lollapalooza brings in festival-goers who came for a lineup, not for one specific act, and may stumble onto SB19's set almost by accident. 3 stages, 3 audiences, one group building recognition with each one. And the schedule isn't slowing down after Chicago. SB19 has I Was There Thanksgiving Fan Meet dates in the United States on August 8th and 9th, followed by performances at Summer Sonic in Japan on August 14th and 15th, before wrapping up with another Thanksgiving fan meet stop in Japan on August 18th. Every stop adds another data point to the same story, a Filipino group building global relevance one appearance at a time. Put it all together, and this stretch of the calendar looks less like a promotional run and more like a full-scale international rollout, spanning 3 countries and at least 4 completely different industries in under a month. It's worth remembering how SB19 got here. Since debuting in 2018, the group has racked up more than 1 billion career streams and become one of the most successful acts to come out of the Philippines. They made history as the first Southeast Asian act to earn a Billboard Music Award nomination, helping put P-pop on the map for international audiences who had barely heard the term before. Hits like Bazinga and GENTO have carried that momentum well beyond Southeast Asia, turning the group into a genuine case study for how a homegrown act can break into markets that once seemed completely closed off. None of that happened overnight. Long before Grammy Museum panels and MLB stadiums, SB19 built its foundation the slower way, through consistent releases, self-produced choreography, and a fan base that showed up for every comeback and every live stream. That groundwork is exactly why moments like the first pitch land as credible milestones instead of one-off publicity stunts. The audience SB19 has now didn't appear because of one viral clip. It was built show by show, year by year. Seen in that context, the first pitch at Wright Field isn't a standalone headline. It's another brick in a wall SB19 has been building for years, one appearance, one stage, one new audience at a time. A baseball fan who had never heard of SB19 before July 29th might now be the same person streaming GENTO for the first time or searching for tickets to a future show. That's how global fan bases are actually built. Not through a single viral clip, but through consistent, cumulative exposure across industries that don't normally overlap. For Josh, walking off that mound wasn't just a personal milestone. It was a moment shared with Pablo, Stel, Ken, and Justin, and by extension, with every Filipino fan who has followed this group from their early days to a Major League Baseball field in Chicago. Given everything else on SB19's calendar this year, from the Grammy Museum to Lollapalooza to international fan meets, this almost certainly won't be the last time the group makes headlines in a place nobody expected. That's the story of SB19's historic MLB first pitch, and honestly, it might just be the quietest headline of their busiest week yet. What did you think was the biggest moment? The first pitch itself? Or hearing GENTO echo through an MLB stadium? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like this video, share it with fellow ATIN, and subscribe to StageWire with notifications on so you never miss the next milestone. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.